Welcome, everybody, to That's Not Why You Called, episode 33. Keeping it going. Is this our record for consecutive show?
It's got to be. What are we, like, 4 weeks in a row or something?
This is like 3 or 4 weeks in a row.
We're so on top of things.
So professional. The most professional show on Twitch and YouTube. Coming soon to the Twitch homepage. When I get, yeah.
We're moving to the homepage. If we did one every day, we would be on like episode. Well, we'd be coming up on a year of That's Not Why You Call Now episodes, right? Almost.
Yeah, we'd be challenging Joe Rogan for like a number of episodes that we've done.
Yeah,
but like we don't. What would we talk about? I don't even know. I mean, I'd be open to doing multiple shows a week, but it's like I don't
know.
You know,
Joe Rogan also just kind of does whatever the hell he wants.
Right, he goes live when he wants to go live, and he doesn't go live when he doesn't have a show. I don't think that they have a set, like, time to go. And the biggest part, he's not the show's producer also.
Yeah.
He's the headliner. Adam Carolla, not the show's producer.
Yep.
Right? I am the show's producer. Chiz is the show's producer. We are the producers and the hosts. Well, you do. I mean, you helped me talk to the graphics guy that did this.
That's true. That was about a year ago as well.
Yeah, that was about a year ago. You helped me once talk to the graphics guy that did all this. So that's helping. That's producing.
Yep.
We've talked. You tweet Hutch sometimes. Hutch has returned, and you tweet him sometimes about coming back onto the show. And you're very cordial to people that ask.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when we would be a little bit snippy and persnickety and persnackety and snooty with people that would ask, but
snooty, snooty.
But you're always like, hey, you know what? Door's always wide open.
Hey,
you know, he mentioned a podcast. He talked about Hutch returned, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, first topic. That's not why he called. He mentioned in a video, in his return video after he took an unannounced break, which I mean, knowing Hutch as we do, as well as we do, which is probably better than most, I would say. That's just the kind of guy he is. It wasn't like a malicious break, like "fuck you guys." It was just kind of he's like, "I'm gonna go do this for a while. I kind of feel I need it." But he mentioned in his video, he was talking about like I think he was trying to say that Hutch had himself an orgy, but he didn't want to talk about it. And he said, "I would mention this is not a proper topic for a YouTube video." And he says, "I'll talk about it if I'm ever on a blah blah blah." And then he said, "Podcast, whatever." And I'm like, "It's good, right here. You got it right here." That's not why you called. We're still around, but he hasn't
said anything.
Hasn't said a goddamn word to either one.
That's fine. He's not obligated to by any means. He's free to do what he wants. He owes us nothing.
Nope, doesn't owe us a goddamn thing.
Would be nice to just get a hello though.
Would be nice. Yeah, you know, would be nice. One of those like, hey man, I recognize you. I recognize you. We had a thing before. It's like when you see an ex-girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm. You acknowledge there was some history.
You're
there.
like, I know you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't talk to you. I'm not like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I don't have to do that. But you see them, and you do try to avoid them. You're like, oh, I don't want to, nothing there. Or that was a bad breakup. But you stop, and you acknowledge. And if your eyes meet, and you're both like trying to, then you have to. It's a social contract. Bam! You got to nod, or you got to, how's it going? And then go on about your business. So, but other than that, nothing. But that'd be nice. Just a little. How's it going? I'm back. I'm back. He's saying hi to everybody, and then he looks at us and he's like, "How's it going?" And then he goes on about his business, doing whatever it is he does. Not even a high, just a point and a knowing nod. Just a yep. There was something there once. Later,
I would like a high five.
Twitch or Chiz says that he wants a high five.
I stand by that.
Don't
get a high five.
So you yell at him about being needy. I'm okay with a point and a knowing nod, an acknowledgement of past things, a bygone era, if you will.
Fun fact: he was only on 2. That's not why he calls.
But he was there for a bunch of the lefty shows.
Yes, he was there for a lot of lefty shows.
And
was
it only 2? That's not why you called.
1 and 5.
1 and 5. Mother of God.
I tried to get him for 10.
I remember
because
that.
I was like, if it would be, if you want to come every 5, that could be a
right.
thing.
If that's we only have. He's like Jim Norton and Opie and Anthony. Jim Norton is
exactly.
He
just shows up every couple of iterations. Now we're on 33, coming up on 35. Still works.
35 is
That 5 slot is open to you whenever.
But we love Hutch. We would love to have him on the show again after I get
just to talk.
Yeah, just to talk, just like what the show was supposed to be. I think we kind of caught him in the going out phase. I think it started there.
Do you?
I'm trying to
maybe
because he did make
that was
videos.
A year ago.
Right, but his break started. I don't know, about 4 months ago. 5 months ago. Yeah, I suppose. Not sure.
But we did just catch him back from a break too, so maybe he wasn't in the right area to stay committed to something like this, which is fine. It's a commitment.
I'd like to have Hutch back. I don't know.
Yeah, just say hi. You don't have to be a host. Just guest. Catch up. It's been a
long time, Hutch.
It's been 28 episodes since you last showed up, which is
many more
weeks.
Yeah, about a year.
About a year.
No, but we're starting anew now. This is a 3rd week in a row. This is a straight shot. We're starting a new streak here of That's Not Why You Called.
Every week, there's nothing that can stop us except Comcast.
Except Comcast or a bad hangover or let's see what else. A Minecraft server thing,
I've never skipped the show.
No. I'm just saying. Like if there was a thing,
which
that would take precedence.
Into my next topic of wild randomness. It was the Y2K14 of Minecraft.
Okay,
it was a real thing. All right, so I'll make it real simple. There's Minecraft servers, which are vanilla, which is no different than playing single player. Then there's Spigot servers, which every real Minecraft server runs, because that is what allows you to install plugins and mods and things to make your server unique. There was a line of code in the Spigot jar, which is a Java thing, that would come out it was a time-based thing, like a time bomb, and it happens every 20 years. I think it was to happen again, it would be 2021 or something. And somebody did the weird math, and it was a ticking time bomb, and it hit every server yesterday, and literally it took down everyone's servers at the same time. It was like a Y2K bug scare, but it really happened. Took all of them down. Took all of them down so quickly at the same time, it took down Mojang's login sessions. So you couldn't log back into a Minecraft server.
Okay.
So everybody was... Excuse me.
Jesus.
Beer in the nose. And nobody could log on. Everybody was tweeting about Y2K14. It felt like Y2K. It was funny. I don't know. No one could get on. And if you could get on, which luckily we did some stuff and we got back on, you got all the people because you were the only ones on at the time.
So what was what was the fix? What ended up being the fix?
It was a simple fix or whatever, some index table or whatever, checking the time inappropriate or incorrectly, and they fixed it, and we got a custom version before then, and it fixed it. But I don't know, some people were freaking out. People would upgrade to the one that had the fix, but it wasn't the right version, and it would kill all their servers. It was a crazy day yesterday. Y2K14, never forget.
Yeah, so if something like that happened, and you were like, dude, this thing came up, I got to be there.
Got to be there.
Then okay. Then yeah. Then no show. So bad hangovers, Comcast, Minecraft stuff.
Minecraft servers.
What?
Notice none of these things are really kind of in real life events. I'm going to this thing.
Well, Comcast is what are we supposed to do without internet?
Well, yeah, you can't.
If you can't connect to me or I can't stream, what are we supposed to do? I guess we could. If I can't stream it, if you can't connect to me, there's no show.
Right.
Because I can't fly. I'm not going to fly it solo.
You've done that before, though.
I have, and it was a 45-minute show, and it was fucking awful. I hated it. But if I can't stream it, I guess we could record it locally for YouTube.
We could. That would keep the thing going if we wanted to keep the streak going. I could take a last-minute flight out there, and we go to a Starbucks or whatever.
Do it from a Starbucks?
Do it from a Starbucks with like a sound stage and everything, like where
we'll just set up a table. Let's just start setting up table monitors and stuff, and like we'll
not
perform
Starbucks.
for
We have
Starbucks.
to find a real coffee shop that like plays music, and then just grab a time slot there. And instead of playing music, we'll do the show, and we'll get some new, get some new listeners and stuff like that.
We'll go to how about we go to a bar and get drunk while we're doing the show, because the FCC doesn't care. We're not.
Really?
We're not. I mean, no. I think the FCC does care about what's done on the internet, but we don't. We don't have broadcast guidelines.
Right. We can do whatever we want.
Go get shithoused while we're doing the show, man. The marathon. That's not why you called a 3-hour show while we're just getting
From the bar.
poo faced. Yeah, just that's not why you called.
We would have to get a booth though made in the bar with sound foam, because everyone else would ruin the show. Have a bunch of drunks yelling.
No, we just
screaming
go.
at us.
We just go. We go sit in a corner away from everybody else, and we turn the gain down really low on our mic, so we got to get close to it.
Yeah, we're doing the show right now.
There are ways to do that, like live sound in a loud environment. I mean, concerts do it, right? There's no feedback loop from the crowd and the instruments at concerts.
It's funny you say that. I watched Rooster Teeth and Joe Rogan did a collab podcast over at during South by Southwest, and they did it at a live venue somewhere, and they were getting serious feedback issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they moved the mic somewhere.
Oh, don't move.
Or feedback where you could actually hear whatever speakers were blasting it would go back into the mic too.
Yeah, that is just going to happen if the monitors are anywhere near the microphones. Like that's just going to happen. There's nothing you could do about that in a live venue. I don't know. I'm not an audio guy. We need like a roadie. That's what we need.
We need a roadie. Who
We
wants
need
to
a
be
roadie to explain like how to do that, and then to run out with like new mics and cables and stuff. But that feedback when moving the mic, that's day one stuff, baby. Just turn that fucking thing off when you hand off the mic. When somebody's done asking their questions, turn the knob all the way down. That's it.
They all had mics.
Oh.
So if you'd come close with somebody else's mic.
Oh, I thought it was like a pan. Oh no, I thought you meant like a microphone in the audience. Like they were handing off the microphone.
They
to
had
people.
They had Joe Rogan, his guy, and then two Rooster Teeth guys, and they all had mics. So they'd get close to somebody else, and the mics would and it'd freak out, and terrorists and AIDS and all that shit. Speaking of terrorists, I probably should have looked up some info on MH370 before we did this, because I don't know where we're currently
Well, the Prime
at.
Minister of Malaysia came out and said that that after analyzing all the data, that they believe that the most likely answer is that the flight ended in the somewhere in the southern Indian Ocean, I believe, west of Perth, as I remember. He said
I keep getting CNN updates, like a satellite image captured like 300 pieces of debris or something in the Indian Ocean. But no, I haven't seen like any. No one's been like, "Here's the plane," you know.
Right, but I mean, I think that probably what you said last week when you the idea of there was an electrical fire or some kind of fire in the cabin, and then the pilot, in an effort to stop the flames, it was probably an electrical fire somewhere in the fuselage, probably not in the cabin, and then he rises up to 40,000 feet. To try to, so the oxygen, I mean, there's not much oxygen at 37,000 feet anyway, but
Right.
might be enough for a fire. Goes up to 40,000 feet to try to do that. Doesn't work. Well, first of all, they turn off all the buses, then dive, and then all that stuff. And then by then, if the fire wasn't out, then it spread to the cabin, and then everybody asphyxiated, and it was just a ghost plane flying on autopilot for whatever. Because, I mean, that's the default things. Right. The plane is designed to fly. It wants to fly. I mean, that's my dad knows how to fly.
Really?
He learned how to single engine Cessna shit. But he said when he was learning to fly in the 80s, I think. The thing his trainer taught him was the thing you have to understand when all the shit's going to hell is that the plane wants to fly. That's what it's designed to do.
Right.
It wants to level out. It wants to fly straight. That's what it's supposed to do. And so, just because the pilots are dead or asphyxiated and asleep, well, if they're asphyxiated, they're dead, but they might be asleep. The plane's just going to fly. And then that's why it's in the Indian Ocean. That's why it passed all the available emergency landing points and just ran out of fuel, and there it went.
Somebody, I don't mean to look at the chat while we do this show, but somebody said they deliberately turned off the plane's responder so it wasn't a fire or a ghost plane. They flipped off the buses. That means all electrical power to the plane on and off and stuff like that, which would turn off the transponder and the other radar, whatever that was. I forget what it was, tracking them.
Yeah.
So that's what that is. And I think most people have thrown out the idea of it being hijacked now. Like, the more that people look at it, like, it wasn't hijacked. You would have heard something. I mean, we'll get the black box soon enough, and that'll tell you everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so would
this guy have been cooler than Captain Sully if he pulled that off, that stunt of going 45,000 feet in the air to smother the flames?
I don't know. They're both trained to do that. Captain Sully's the Hudson River guy, right?
Right. Both engines fucking out.
I mean, yeah, it's cool that the plane landed in the fucking river, right? Like, yeah, but I mean, it's incredibly dangerous. First of all.
Way more dangerous for those that don't know to land in water than it is to even smack the belly of the plane on asphalt.
But pilots are trained to do that. I mean,
Right.
he's a hero. He's a hero. That's part of his training.
Yeah.
I mean, he executed it, yes, but do we give medals for doing what you're taught to do now? Is that where we are? If he did a barrel roll to, like, oh, I'm going to do a fucking Top Gun barrel roll as I fly by the air control tower so that the air controllers can see the fuselage of the plane and diagnose the problem, and then I'm going to figure out a MacGyver a way to fix it, then fuck yeah. But landing on a flat river with very little wave action, that they're trained to do that. It's immense execution. Very well done. You get a clap, but you're not a hero. You did what you were supposed to.
But we give medals to everyone that serves in the Army for, like, everything you can think of under the sun. Like, you got shot, there's a Medal of Honor, this. They're just doing their job too, and they get rewarded with all of these different accolades.
Well, I don't think getting shot is part of the job description.
I think it is, though. You've signed up. That's why. Like,
well, it can happen, yeah.
Here's a question I want to pose to you, and I'm totally deviating, but it flows kind of into it. Someone I know is going into the... I know a lot of people that actually do this. They're going to go into the reserves, because if you do, they'll pay for your schooling, and I guess they also pay you at the same time, too, because you go and do something. So they're paying you, and they're paying for your schooling, and you sign, like, a 6-year, like, contract that you're in the reserves. You could be called at any point, but the odds of being called are, like, 0 to 1% or something ridiculous like that. Do you feel like that's a scam? Do you, like, the people that sell it to me, like, I'll never get called in or whatever, like, I'll never get called in, they're paying for my schooling. It sounds great, but I can't get out of my head, there is still like a 1 to 5% chance that you do get called in, and you can't go AWOL. That's goodbye if you go AWOL. That's I'm pretty sure that's traitorism or whatever. What do you think? Do you think that it feels like... Would you ever go that course?
Would I ever do it? No.
Yeah. Because of that 1 to 5% chance that you could be called in.
Yeah, because I'm mindful of stuff like that.
Right.
Like, this will never happen. Lefty, you'll never get eaten by a black bear on this camping trip. Really? Well, when I lose that bet, I'm fucking dead. So...
Yeah.
Expected return, man. Like, okay, you're not very likely to lose this bet, but look at how much you're betting. If you lose, you're fucked.
Right, you're all in.
You are so screwed if that one time you're burned. I mean, if it's like, oh man, I can't win, so I'm going to bet everything that I had already set aside to gamble on this. All right. But if it's, oh man, it's a 95% shot, I'm going to mortgage the house, everything, putting it all on the line. Well, you're an idiot. Because I lost, what could have happened? Well, you should have understood that you put everything on the line and you came up wrong. So, it's all this great stuff. You get all this great stuff for practically doing anything. But if we need you, you might be called into battle.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you bargained for that.
Yeah. I'd rather, I've, since I was young, I've never ever thought of that ever being a possibility. Like, I've thought if it really got bad, I would still be homeless over enlisting, which some may say that's crazy. But there is still a chance you will get shipped off into a war, and I'm so not for that. I don't care. I would rather go in debt paying my way through school than come out debt-free and even with some money. But, hey, we own you kind of for 6 years, during which there could be another war, and we may need some reserves.
You don't get to say anything, and you're fucking going.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to do that,
which I guess it's a good deal. If you were going to go into the military anyway, like that's what you wanted to do, it's a fucking sweet deal.
Go to school.
because you've minimalized. It is a small chance, but it's still a chance. It's the point I'm making here. So, I mean, you get your school paid, you get some money in the pocket, and there's a slight chance you go.
And if you were planning on a military career anyway, going to school puts you in a great position to further your career in the military. Be an officer, go to officer school, and I mean that'll put you on the track to go there. But if it's just like I'm going into the reserves to try to get money for school, banking on the idea that I'll probably not get called up. Well, okay, but when you lose that bet, don't come crying to me or don't go crying to anybody. Why are we in this war? Well, you fucking signed up, you jagoff. You knew what you were doing. If the idea of going to war is so scary and appalling, you shouldn't have risked it. You shouldn't have made that bet, then knowing that was a possible outcome. You lost. Oops.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that it's an unjust war, right? Because all of a sudden, a lot of our reservists got stuff to say about how just a war is. Well, no. Because
your tab's just been called.
Yeah, I didn't hear you trying to mark up the contract and taking less money for school, talking about I can opt out. Don't you pay for half of my schooling, but I get to opt out if I think the war is unjustified or immoral. I didn't hear you that. You were all gimme. Well, now fucking time to pay the Pied Piper, man. Let's go.
Yeah. But if that's what I wanted to do in the military, I guess that kind of person wants to fully enlist into the Marine Corps or something like that, not just the reserves. But if I was in that middle ground, I want to go, but I don't want to be on the front lines, I think I would do that.
I had a buddy who, let's see, how long ago was that? Statute of limitations are probably up. This had to be 07. Probably close to being up. To avoid grand larceny charges.
Okay.
He was one of those yellow shirt guys at Best Buy.
Uh-huh.
Their loss prevention.
Mm-hmm.
He was not good at his job. I'll say that. And they found out how bad at his job he was. And to avoid grand larceny charges, he enlisted in the Marines.
Wow.
And this was right around we were still fucking going to kill some people over there in the Middle East. I'm like, oh, dude, that sucks, man. I'm really sorry. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, but it's better than fucking going to jail. And then I was like, oh, well, I hope you don't get shipped off, et cetera, et cetera. Well, guess where he gets stationed? Fucking Hawaii. Because for the length of his contract, the regiment or whatever formation he got assigned to, some artillery brigade or something, or I don't even know if the Marines have artillery, but whatever, he got assigned to some Marine force. Some regiment or whatever. Well, they were just rotating off deployment just as he got in. And so for the length of his Marine Corps contract, whatever it was, they were off of deployment and couldn't be deployed.
Wow.
So he was in Hawaii, Japan, you lucky bastard. So
now I'll pose that question to you. If you did something like that and you had two options, go to jail for 2 years, let's say 2 years. I don't know what this guy did, but let's just say 2 because it's a decent amount of time. Or being shipped off into the military and you don't know what's going to happen either way. What do you pick?
Probably jail.
Yeah, I think
prison or jail. Prison or jail. Like the county jail, 2 years in the county jail, or you're going to a penitentiary for.
I feel like prison because I feel like jail. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing to take anything away from jail, but I mean, I feel like that, everybody knows jail is easier than pound me in the ass prison.
Oh, no, I think spending months in county would be worse. I'd probably rather go to a penitentiary than county. Hell yeah, dude.
Because the standards are lower?
Yeah, because that's where they hold fucking murder, guys that just got arrested for murder. Just! 2 hours ago, they were murdering dudes, are now in there with you. Hello. So I would probably rather spend time in a penitentiary. Than
either one, though. I'd still
now if it's somebody's here in America, and we have to defend Homefront, right? Remember that piece of shit? Remember that piece of shit game?
God, yeah.
I'd probably go fight in that.
Would you?
Yeah, because that's different than I'm gonna go secure oil interests and Halliburton contracts. That's no, man. This shit's here now. This is a real deal. I'd help out.
Wolverines.
Oh God, Red Dawn.
Red Dawn, thank you.
The Red Dawn with the Wolverines. Yeah,
that looks bad. I feel like it's totally different though. Fighting at home is way.
That's what it's like to be an Iraqi insurgent. That's what it's like to be somebody in Vietnam in the rice paddies. It's like, I know where that
warfare.
is.
You know the land. Anyone, and they say that in the fucking Red Dawn movie. Like, when you're here, you're fighting for something else. It actually matters. You're not being shipped off.
Oh, and also they were like teenagers in Red Dawn fighting off the fucking Soviets. Yeah. Like Spetsnaz coming in, and they're like, oh.
And the new Red Dawn, they fight the North Koreans. The Russians are only.
Oh, yeah, and it had that guy from Johnny Tran from the Fast and the Furious. Johnny Tran, the Asian guy. He was in the new Red Dawn, right? Or no, that was White House Down. Which one had the? It was North Korea in both the new Red Dawn.
Oh,
and White
Johnny
House
Tran was in. That guy was in not Olympus Has Fallen.
Olympus Has Fallen.
Yep, he was the bad guy in that one.
Was that the shittier one?
No, that was the better one.
Oh, okay.
That was with Gerard Butler, not the one where you went to go grab a game. Jamie Foxx and what's his face?
Yeah, and they were like, night of midnight release party for White House Down. This lady and her son was like, I want. Oh, and Grown Ups 2. She wanted Grown Ups 2. Oh, so bad. Oh, by the way, awful segue into a topic that I didn't cover yet. This show, That's Not Why You Called, on Twitch now, because I know people on YouTube will be like, This show on Twitch and the rest of my Twitch streams for at least the rest of the month, probably I might extend it into April, we'll see, are going to be ad-free. Now, I should say this. We talked about it a little bit in the pre-show. They're going to be mid-roll ad-free. Mid-roll free. Because I can't do anything about... when you join a Twitch stream and it's live, or when you're just watching like somebody's Twitch channel and they go live, an ad plays, and then when they end the stream, another ad plays. That's pre-roll, post-roll, and then a mid-roll is the button that I have, or that Nightbot. You can set up different bots to run ads for you. I can stop mid-rolls from showing, but I can't stop pre and post-rolls. I just can't. There's nothing I can do about it. I would have to unpartner my channel for that to happen. So for at least the rest of March and maybe into April, I'm going to try to go ad free. Now here's the reason for that, because in order for where I am viewership wise to be profitable from advertisements, I have to run really, really close to the line of acceptability, my own personal line of acceptability in terms of how many ads I run per 15, 30-minute blocks. And
what do you do now?
2 minutes every 15.
Okay, so it doesn't change.
I can go to 3 minutes. Yeah, I can go 3 minutes every 15. I can go up from that. I can I think I can go 2.5 and then 3. So right. I'm not running.
At that point, you're kind of getting close to what TV is.
That's got to be. Yeah, that's at what TV is, right? 15 minutes for 3 minutes of advertising, probably a little bit more
of actual showtime. Yeah,
and I don't want to do that. I think that would end up hurting me in the long run, as opposed to helping me short term with money. So the deal, or not the deal, but my thinking is I'm just going to cut out all mid-roll ads. Obviously, the pre-roll ads will still roll, and the post-roll ads will still roll. And if you want to watch them, that's great, because ads, refreshing streams still roll ads. And if you guys want to watch ads, okay, but I'm not going to roll them. And I'm going to try to go to a subscription donation hybrid model and see how that works. If you guys want to subscribe to my channel, $4.99, you get a chat badge, custom emoticons, and access to subscriber-only chats, which are going to be much, much more prevalent now. That's a way to help out the stream. And if you want to donate, you're like, oh, well, you're not running ads. That's great. Here, I want to help you out. Not in exchange for not running ads, but you're not running ads. Here's something to help out. You can do that as well. Below the video player, click on the donate page, and I want to see if that works. I want to try to see if that holds water for a little bit, because I think it's a situation where everybody can kind of win. Everybody wins in an acceptable level, right? Viewers don't have to sit through blocks of advertisements that run on a schedule, because in order, again, for it to be profitable, they do have to run on a schedule. I can't afford to be canceling ads all the time, to even at opportune moments.
Right.
So instead of there will be no mid-roll ads, and I will get subscribers. People will build the community of people that'll subscribe, and a lot of people get to emoticons, and the chat will be more lively, and Twitch will get their end. with subscriptions. It's not like, and that's the other thing. If you're going to watch and donate and subscribe and all that stuff, I greatly appreciate it. But I would prefer if people would subscribe first. If I had my druthers, I would wish that people would subscribe first before donating.
That's your IQ, buddy. 0.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Aussie Butters 37 just subscribed. Welcome to the Dog Pound, my friend. We got fun and games. Woo, thank you for subscribing. See, I would prefer that because I want to make sure that Twitch is getting something out of the deal. I don't want to cut Twitch completely out because they're the ones that are putting up the upfront costs for the servers, the ingest servers, all the design and all that stuff. They're doing it, and I've entered into a contract with them, and I don't want to cut them out from a contract or from money. So, if you want to subscribe to help out the stream, that would be great. There's going to be no mid-roll ads for a while, and I want to see if that's profitable. So subscribe, $4.99, and donate to your heart's content. And if you want to help out the stream, and of course, we'll talk about it later. But Chiz, you had some thoughts on this.
Well, I also have another thought that just came up. Because I've thought about this when I always think about starting streaming again, and I've thought about this for like years since after my prime. I ran ads. I was the king of ads back in the day. I was giving tips to Nadeshot back in the day to make money off their streams. But then when I lost the audience and started to build it again last summer, I thought, what's better? Do I roll no ads now because of two reasons. One, there's almost no point if you have a really low viewership, like let's say 100 people. There's almost no point in if you do the 2 every 15 minutes. There's really no point in doing it. You'll make some money, but not enough to warrant how many ads you're rolling for people, that small audience you have. So you do hurt yourself. So I've always thought, but do you start rolling the ads even when you're small, just so that when you want to roll them when you're big and you have an audience, they can't go, well, what the fuck? This is a new thing. You didn't roll ads before. Or do you just not roll ads, period? Or do you start and then turn it off? I mean, that's a win what you're doing right now. I mean, how can anybody be pissed at that, you know?
Yeah, right. But
they'll
if I
find
do,
a way.
Well, if I do decide, well, it would be hard for me if I have to come back and be like, well, it's not profitable, so I got to start rolling ads again.
Right.
You know?
But this is there's a site called Patreon, and on Patreon, have you seen it?
Yes, I've heard of it, yeah.
Okay. So on Patreon, if you don't know, like content producers, whether it's music videos, a web series, anything like that.
Quinn just subscribed. Welcome to the Dog Pound. We got fun and games. Woo! Thank you for subscribing.
Woo! Corridor Digital's on there as well. What they'll do is they'll say, like, all right, if you want me to make one of these videos every month, I'm going to need this much money so people can contribute for that content. It's no different here. If you don't want ads to roll all the time, then the only way that's going to happen if it's viable off of the subscriber count that Lefty has. So, and you got another subscriber, so I'll let you do your thing.
Truly Razor just subscribed. Welcome to the Dog Pound, my friend. We got fun and games. Woo! Thank you for subscribing, and I do enjoy your LA face with your Oakland booty.
Boom. But the only way to prevent Lefty going back from an ad rolling mentality is if he gets enough subscribers. So if you really like the content, that's not what you call his gaming streams, you have to show that by putting your dollar on the table. And that's not to say if you can't, you don't really like it. I'm not saying that. Some people just can't, or they have no means to do it. They don't have PayPal. Their parents will let them borrow a credit card or whatever.
That's fine.
That's fine. But, you know, that's what it comes down to. You know, he has to make enough money to support or warrant the amount of time invested in streaming. I've thought about coming back to streaming. It takes so much time to stream to make your money and to just build an audience even from scratch. It takes so much commitment and time that right now I just can't warrant that amount of time dedication because it would – I know I could build an audience back if I really worked hard at it, but that initial starting I just can't warrant, you know? And for Lefty to go ad-free, he has to get more subscribers. It comes down to it, you know? And if you don't like that, well, don't worry. The ads will be back in a month or whatever, you know?
Yeah, it's you know, and maybe there's a hype. Maybe ad-free is not the answer. Is not the best answer. Just like just solely relying on advertisements isn't the best answer. Maybe there's something in between. I just want to see what if one works better than the other, because you know.
And I want to say something for the record. He doesn't have to even do this. You know, he could keep the subs he's getting, keep getting more. He gets more every day, and keep rolling the same 2 minutes worth of ads every 15 minutes and literally rake in money. But he doesn't want to do that because he cares about his content and the viewer, you know, more.
Yeah.
No, but Twitch makes good money if you roll ads and stuff like that. And it's nice to have the subscribers because they're pretty much a constant, genuine salary, if you will. As close as you're going to get to streaming on Twitch as a salary, because nothing's guaranteed when it comes to ads. Which we're coming up on 600 viewers. Roll an ad.
Yeah, right. Which, by the way, that whole thing that we just spent the last couple minutes talking about was bullshit. So fuck off. We're running some advertisements. Yeah, I mean, you know, if 2 minutes, if Gassy Max ran a minute and a half ads every 15 minutes, Gold Glove. Like,
any of those things, that's the thing.
They would make so much money. But a lot of guys don't. Lyric is a huge guy when he streams DayZ, when he streams Arma mods, pretty much anything he streams. I don't think Summit runs any, Summit 1G. I don't think he runs many ads. And they work off of, donations, subscribers, and in-stream ads. Ads that are native, you know, brought to you by...
product placement.
Right, Elgato Gaming or Scuff Gaming or Intel, whatever. And I think that, again, that's a model where a lot of people win. The Pixelnator just subscribed. Welcome to the Dog Pound, everybody. Oh, no, God damn it. Welcome to the Dog Pound. We got fun and games. Woo, thank you for subscribing. I conflated my sentences there. I think it's something where everybody can get what they want, or get at least a good slice of what they want. Obviously, the optimum thing for viewers would be no intrusive advertisements, right? That's in the vacuum, in a perfect world, nobody's advertised to. It's just content breeds content. But that's just not going to. There's no way that would work unless we completely shun capitalism and the idea of a monetary driven society. But and otherwise, you know, on the flip side, the perfect world for a content creator would be ads all the time. Everybody watching ads. Yeah. Everybody. I'm able to sell a ticket to people for them to watch my advertisements. And of course that's not viable because at some point there's got to be content. And I like making content, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. So I just want to see how this works. But obviously there's got to be some caveats here, right? Because now we're a lot closer to the lefty I pay you thing. Now technically when you subscribe on Twitch, you're paying Twitch, and Twitch gives me a cut of that, which I could pull that out in a pinch if I'm really grasping at straws, like, oh, well, you're paying Twitch, not me. But the donations thing crushes all that. So we have to go at this, or I would go at this from the other, trying to make everybody understand. I don't know how to do it, to try to make everybody as aware as I can. Just because you donate to me, even now that I don't run advertisements and I'm relying on subscriptions and donations, even though I'm doing that, you still don't have a stake in this channel.
Well, let's be real here. Like, all right, let's get right down to it. When you pay for a subscription, it tells you what you're paying for. You are paying for the emoticons, the sub-only chat, the special newsletter thing that if Lefty wanted to, I don't even know how that works in looking at it, but like you can send out a newsletter to your subscribers and stuff like that. That is literally what you are paying for. Just like I pay for Turbo. I don't get ads. I get some special emoticons and stuff. That doesn't mean I own a part of Twitch or have some right. I'm not at the stock meeting or anything like that. Just like you don't own anything in Lefty Inc. Made that one up. You don't get to dictate the content. Just like it's no different. Same thing with a donation. Donation is a donation. You hold no weight here. There's no exchange being made. It's out of the goodness of you. You like the content, you support it. No different than if I go to a website and want to donate there. And that doesn't give me the right to email them and say, you know, stop making this shit right here. I did give you $50.
Right.
Donation is a donation. I know someone who donated $500 to an individual in hopes of just getting on their good side.
Did they charge it back?
No. No, this actually isn't. No, because that is a purchase, that thing. This is actually a donation that was made. Somebody I know donated to someone else like $500 so that they would help, you know, just give a little time to help us out. They didn't do that. They didn't have to. It's a donation. He was hoping they would, but they didn't.
Who's this person, man? Send them over my way. I'll do stuff. Whatever, man. 500 bones. What's up? We'll hang out. You want to talk? You want to get to the subscriber-only TeamSpeak? Hang out? Talk about shit?
Do you hang out on that TeamSpeak?
Once in a while. Not really.
Is that a subscriber-only TeamSpeak?
Yeah.
So is it like...
There's only like 8 people, though. Or
is it like
8
a
slots.
whitelist?
I don't know.
Whitelisted or is it password?
Anonymous with a $20 donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate the donation, whoever you are.
That's 4 subscriptions.
That's 4 subscriptions and a donation. Right? Yeah. Right?
4 subscriptions and a donation.
No, 3.
5? No. It's $4.99. 4 divided by 20 is.
That the $20 is 4 subscriptions. Got it. I thought you were talking about. Yeah, no, I'm dumb. So now to everybody watching this on YouTube, because now everybody's all upset, right? Because given probably where they are, they probably already watched.
YouTube's dying. What are you doing?
Well, no, I'm still going to roll ads on YouTube. YouTube, there are still going to be ads, mid-roll ads on YouTube. That's just that's got to be. Because that's the only thing I can do on YouTube.
Which, by the way, is different because when a YouTube ad is rolled, the video stops, the ad is rolled, and the content is resumed.
That's right.
When you stream and you roll an ad, literally people miss whatever the fuck happened just there. There is, and it could be at a pivotal moment, at a great thing, and the only people that are going to see it are like a couple turbo people and whoever watches the VOD. So it's really, you don't have any leverage to bitch on an hour-long video on YouTube with in-stream ads that you can pause at any point. You can go back and watch or whatever at a different time. It's different than live content. Just like I'm sure a lot of you have cable and you have DVRs because we're in the fucking 21st century. How many of you watch well, I guess on YouTube you kind of have to watch the ad, but I mean, if an ad comes up, it doesn't ruin your life on what you're watching. You just fast forward through it. You know, it doesn't eat up any time really. Maybe that analogy didn't work that well because you can't speed up an ad on YouTube.
Well, and also on YouTube there's nothing else. On Twitch, like I can take donations, I can subscribe, or people can subscribe to me, and Twitch still gets a cut. And I think that's one of the most important parts, is that I honestly would prefer that if you're going to donate, please also subscribe as well, because I really, really, really love Twitch as a company and as a service and what they provide. It's like nothing else that I've seen out there. So I really want them to get a cut. And I really,
it's funny. The guy I pointed out to you earlier in the pre-stream, Co-Carnage, that guy, he was, and I think he's so successful because he's so about the community. Maybe too much, but he's so about it. He was doing his own subscription type model on his own forum website where people could subscribe, get special things on his website, and donate like $5 a month. And he didn't even have a partnership at that point.
Oh, really?
And yeah, like he was like, they didn't pay attention to me. I'll do my own thing. But now he's like one of their fucking top dog players or whatever. It just shows what happens. And look, you're at 600 viewers now. That's not why you called. Where were we?
That's not why you called. That's not why you. Where were we
somebody
a year
make
ago?
That, please?
1,200. Where were we a year ago? 1,200 live viewers when Hutch was pimping this shit, buddy. All right, let's not talk about.
God damn it, Hutch! What the fuck?
Come on, man! If we could have 1,200 live viewers on my Twitch channel, at least once a week for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I'm gonna paint a picture right now. Hutch, you come on. We pull 1,000. Let's just say 1,000 viewers on That's Not What You Called. That's it. That is enough to warrant getting on the front page. Guess what? We've just now doubled that. Now everyone's promotion platform has doubled in size. What do you lose? You don't lose anything. You get to talk to pseudo-intellectuals right here, okay? And have fun.
Exactly.
You get to get fucked up and do whatever you want.
We're 2 pseudo-intellectuals. We're basically 1 intellectual.
That's it. 2 pseudos make 1.
That's the math right there. So, I miss Hutch, man.
I just want to talk to him.
I know. That was some of the greatest stuff. Some of the greatest podcasting ever done is with Hutch. At least do Twitch or something, man, so I can... Come on. What are you doing?
I want to do Twitch. I want to...
Stream you building stuff. Do what Mark Paintball does.
Shout out. I don't build anything. I fucking suck. Shout out. I don't even think Nuclear is here. Shout out to Nuclear who sent me all these fucking games because not a year ago, it was like summer, July or whatever. I wanted to stream myself getting 360,000 gamer score. By the way, that's a fucking pipe dream. I'm only at 54,000. That would have taken me like probably 2 years of consistent streaming to get that. But he sent me all those games, and I just bought Stick of Truth on Xbox, even though I already bought it on PC and didn't even open it, but it has achievements on Xbox.
You're so just a weirdo about that.
And I got a PAX East badge here that I'm giving away to somebody, and 7 books that I need to read.
What the
You want to see my books?
All right, you got to pick one and do it.
Pick one and what?
You got to either read books, get the achievements, or start streaming again. Keep in mind, streaming can make you a little bit of money too. Oh, those are your Linux and Unix and all that stuff.
Yeah, Amazon is a problem, man. I don't think you have Amazon Prime.
I do have Amazon Prime. What are you talking about?
Oh, do you? Okay, yeah. I didn't know. Well, it took you fucking 12 years to get Netflix. Sorry, I didn't know.
All right, you know what? You can kiss
Did you just get Netflix like at the end of last year?
You can kiss a sick monkey's wet ass.
That's what I thought. Okay, so with Amazon Prime, I got 7 books there. I've read 2 of them so far, and I'm just my fucking wish list and basket is like, do I want to get that one because it's like $20 and it's free shipping. I mean, if I went
free
to the
2-day shipping like works wonders on me.
It's magical. Like Woody was like, I bought dental floss the other day, and fucking off Amazon Prime. I'm not one of those people yet where I'm buying groceries and shit off of there.
But if Amazon Prime, if Amazon did, you know what? Amazon just if it was $100 a year,
which
and
by the way,
get
they're
access
upping it to.
Right. Well, they go to 99, right? 99.
It was $79.99 before, and like within I think March or April. Probably April, they switched to $100 now.
Okay, so if it was $150 a year and you get access to their delivery service, Amazon Groceries, would you'd totally fucking do it?
Is that a thing, or are you making that up?
They want to get into grocery. Amazon,
do they?
Yeah, Amazon in certain areas, in certain regions, has a grocery service, fresh produce and all that stuff. You would totally do it, wouldn't you?
So fucking do it. Why would I leave? Why would anyone leave their house?
Right, $150 a year.
Google is Skynet. And Amazon is the commerce version of Skynet. Like, if they combine into one corporation, the world is over. The singularity has happened. It's been reached. Which, by the way, fucking Disney bought Maker this week for $500 million, which I feel isn't
From who?
a lot.
Who owned Maker?
Maker did. They were their own company.
Right, but who started it?
Oh, I don't fucking know that dude's name.
It wasn't Ray William Johnson, was it?
No, he was just... No, he got into shit with Maker. Remember, he had that lawsuit or whatever.
Oh, that's right, where they wouldn't give his AdSense account back.
Yeah.
What a bunch of dicks.
Disney bought Maker for $500 million, which is a fucking steal. If you had MySpace was bought for that back in the day for $500 million, and they thought that was an overestimate. I feel like Disney got a goddamn steal from Maker.
Who's in Maker right now?
PewDiePie, every top person pretty much, except for like those 2 brothers, whatever their name. The
Fine brothers.
Yeah, those guys have their own thing.
Oh, so they've got Smosh, PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
I mean, they're hitting so many, and Disney deals mainly with like TV and movies and stuff. Now they've got an internet outlet. And by the way, they bought Maker for $500 million. Maker just recently, maybe 2 months ago, bought Blip. I don't remember for how much, but that's a fucking content delivery service right there. That is a YouTube right there, and Disney now owns it, so they could like push out movies on there and stuff. They bought them for $500 million. They got a steal. And for those that don't know, Disney is like one of those companies in the world, one of the 5 companies in the world that pretty much owns everything. They own like ESPN, they own Marvel, fucking Lucasfilms. They own so much shit. Nobody owns Disney. They're one of the biggest conglomerates ever. They're juggernauts. They're up there with Google. And then Facebook fucking buys VR, fucking Oculus Rift, for $2 billion.
For what? What does the Oculus Rift have to do with Facebook? What? And why are people so upset?
I made a joke about them bringing ads to the virtual reality, and I think they even said something like, "This will be better for our advertising" or something like that. And Zuckerberg's statement is something like, mobile is the platform of today. We're getting ready for the platform of tomorrow. And Facebook bought Instagram 2 years ago for $1 billion, and Zuckerberg said, we'll never do this again. The odds of us ever making a purchase like this are 1,000,000 to 1. And he fucking buys Oculus VR for $2 billion and fucking WhatsApp for $14 to $19 billion.
What? Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
WhatsApp, I've used it. It's an instant messaging service for your phone that works over the internet. So, like, I can talk to international people with it. It doesn't record any of your data or anything.
Okay.
It's like the best instant messaging you can get over the internet via mobile. And it's approaching, the reason they bought it is because it's approaching 1 billion users or something like that, which is fucking astronomical. But at the same time, everyone is so focused on users lately. Like, so many people use this product, so many people use that. Fucking 14 to 19 billion with a B dollars. How many years is it going to take to recoup that acquisition money, and then you're in the green up ahead? I get there's a billion users.
How do you even profit from it? What do you put ads on instant messages?
There's ads on it. There's ads on the app and stuff like that.
How do you
That's
make
all
how do you,
it is.
Are you going to generate $14 billion in ads?
That's the thing. Twitter is worth like such and such amount of money. They're worth that. Like their IPO says they are. But they're barely profitable, if that. Like they took a loss one quarter, but they were still profitable. Because Twitter doesn't have a good ad sales model. Like, what are you going to do? Promoted tweets and stuff like that? That's all they have right now. A billion users is great and super cool. 14 to 19 fucking billion dollars. I think Facebook is only worth 44 or something like that. They spend half their money on the app. What?
It seems like they're
throwing. I made the tweet. I think they're throwing darts at a fucking spreadsheet with numbers with a billion at the end, because they buy that for 14 to 19 billion, and then they buy this for 2 billion. Oculus. There are so many competitors that nobody talks about that are doing the same thing, and
that Oculus is doing.
Yeah, the virtual reality shit that's just as good. There's so many competitors that keep popping up out of the woodwork, and they buy them for 2 billion. And Notch said, "Fuck you." They were going to make a Minecraft for the Oculus Rift. As soon as he heard they purchased them, nope. He pulled out. He said, "Facebook's weird. We don't." He literally said that Facebook is weird. We don't want to do it.
That's
pulled out.
You see, I don't get it. Look, because all right, you got 1 billion people that you can now advertise to. Who's going to pay that much money to advertise to 1 billion people? Okay, Coca-Cola. All right, you want to advertise to 1 billion people? Yeah. How much is that going to cost? I don't know.
$1 per ad.
$25 billion. Do you have that? Do you got 25 billion Coke? No. We'll finance it. You're just enticing people to leverage bullshit to meet monetary values that mean nothing. What does $14 billion even fucking mean? Did 14 billion actual US dollars change hands in any significant fashion? Or was it, no, well, these assets are valued at this. If you want to turn this into liquid money, well, you gotta fucking sell it and this and that. You get your orders of magnitude removed from actual liquidity, but all these assets might one day be valued at $14 billion. Just fucking blow me with all this shit. Facebook, we're valued at $44 billion. Your service fucking sucks, and the newer generations are fucking hating you. So I don't care what you think you're worth. Because King, the Candy Crush makers, which I linked to.
Yeah, I didn't read your thing, but are you about to say what I'm saying? Does it relate to this topic? Do you know what they're valued at?
King?
Yeah.
They value themselves at like a couple $100 million.
No. They're hoping for an IPO of like $8 billion. King.
That's right. 7.1 was their estimate. Their estimate of 7.1 of their IPO slumped today to 5.98.
Yeah, and it went down. Okay, because what they came out and said like a week ago, or when I first read this thing, was that their whole King was worth like 7 point whatever billion. 95% of that came from 3 games, and 70% of that came from Candy Crush alone, which, if you did the math, was like fucking $4 to $5 billion. One game. You're a one-hit wonder. Like, it's hard to value. They do make like, I don't know, $10 million a day or $1 million. I think $1 million a day is what they make. So they make like fucking $400 million a year almost, give or take. So yeah, they're valued with a lot. But that's one game that is going to die eventually. And considering one is 70% of that whole thing, it's hard to say, if we keep going with this down the road, we're going to estimate your company's worth this many billion, because you don't. They have like 100 games in their catalog. 3 make up 95% of the profits, and 1 makes up 70% of those profits. What? You have a bejeweled copy.
Look how long Angry Birds lasted. Angry Birds was the
shit. That was the top dog. And Candy Crush is probably
Candy Crush is still big, but it's gonna go away.
It's not in the spotlight.
Everything's gonna go away.
The only reason they're in the spotlight now is because of all the fucking political shit King has been doing recently. That's why they're in the spotlight. But the game itself, people have come and go. Like, I'm playing a game called 2048, and a lot of people play
Please don't get into mobile gaming. That's what you should do.
No,
Get
but
back
it's on
into
the
streaming.
computer.
Stream your mobile games. There you go,
Yeah,
baby.
It's on the computer too. 2048.
Bam!
You would like it. You take the math numbers, slide them around. 4 and 4 makes 8, and then you got to get 2 more 2s to make it 4.
I don't know
and
how
then
that
4
should-
and 4, and then 8 and 8.
Oh, so
You
it's
gotta
like
add up-
Sudoku?
You gotta like slam the numbers into each other to make like what they add up to, and then you gotta get to 2048 is the big number.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, King valued themselves each individual share at $22.50 opening today, and they estimated that they were going to get themselves $7.1 billion, or that would be their market value, and they slumped more than 15%, closing at $19, giving them a market value of $5.98 billion.
Oh, so they went public today.
Yeah, they went public. There's those assholes on on the New York Stock Exchange ringing the bell. Fucking douchebags.
It's funny that they went under that.
Trademark
'cause
candy. Fuck them. Good.
They
Fuck
went,
you, King. You're not profitable. You're not gonna make any money. Well, actually, they did make a lot of money today.
They made a lot of money.
But their market value is down. I don't even know what that means.
I'm waiting for the day that Twitch goes public. That's a day. I want a job at Twitch. I've always wanted a job at Twitch for legitimately having a job because it'd be super cool there. But whatever fucking stock options those people have, when they go public, those people will be fucking rich.
Yeah, because now Twitch just started with the promoted game thing.
What do you mean?
On the front page, how they've got all the below the player, below the marquee player, there are the top games on Twitch, right?
Right.
And it was ordinarily and still is ranked by number of viewers of everybody streaming all those games. But when Infinite Crisis came out, the MOBA, the Marvel themed the DC themed MOBA. When that dropped, that was number 1, and it was in a promoted slot. So if Twitch can monetize that, I wonder how much they got for that. Not that it's really any of my business. I'm just curious. I wonder how much they got for that promoted game slot. Because you got DC. It's a DC game.
That and they're super fucking big. I mean, they account for 1/4 of. They're the highest trafficked site. In the number 4 slot, which it's like 1.4%. That's a lot. There's 330 million people in the United States. That's what 3.3 million, something like that. Bad at math. Yeah, it's a lot of traffic. Netflix is 33. When Twitch goes public, which they fucking will, because they're that big. Justin TV was never that big enough to go public. Machinima was never that big enough to go public. Twitch could do it. And if they do, it's going to be a good day for all.
I don't get what would be the idea
there.
behind going public. That still baffles me. Is it just you try to sell, you create shares in your business, and you hold some for the company and in the top dogs, they hold them and then they put the rest out. Okay, go ahead and speculate on how profitable we will be, or speculate on our value, right? And we make money when our stock, when the stock that we held on to goes up, but not when the stock is outside. Once we sell, once the IPO happens, whatever happens to those specific pieces of stock, it doesn't matter to us because it's not good that it goes up. It doesn't really matter. It only matters if our stock goes up as well. So
it's whatever you're holding. That's the whole thing. That's what happened with Twitter.
I guess that would just incentivize reinvestment in the company if whoever owns Twitch, Justin, whatever his name is,
well, that's
and,
what
and
most
all the
people
top
do.
dogs, and Twitch Corporation, if it owns 40% of itself, and that 40% is worth couple $100 million, they'll reinvest in that.
Right, and that's what a lot of people do. Like, they'll give you the option, like, do you want to buy more shares of our private company, and buy more in, and then you buy more in. And that's how people. That's what most startup companies try to do. They try to get big enough to where they get purchased, and when they do, they just sell their own shares, and they're fucking done.
Okay, see that always. Because I always tried to be skeptical about it. I didn't try to be like biased against it, but I was always skeptical. Like I'm very weary, especially after the whole banking credit default swap thing. I'm very weary of the financial types just circle jerking themselves into thinking that they're doing awesome things. When it's like, oh, my company's, the stock's valued at this. King, our IPO, we're hoping that it's going to establish our market value at $7.1 billion. Like, okay. What does that do for you? How do you make money from that? How do you turn that into Maseratis and bitches and cocaine? How do you turn them into that? I don't know.
It's whatever they're holding. If they sold, guess what? They're not making anything. Yeah,
so if it's like, oh yeah, we sold off, 70% of the stock and it's now worth blah blah blah. Well, okay.
You and I now own each 10 million shares. If that's not why you called. If anyone wants to buy some shares, though,
we'll create 5 million more.
I'll be right back 1 second, though. Entertain them.
You're gonna get more beer, aren't you? NP.
Yes.
Okay. See, he didn't differentiate between answers to that question. He just said yes. So that whole world of high finance and all that stuff, it always just confused me, I guess, because I was always looking for what's the end game. Okay, yeah, your company's valued market value is whatever the hell it's supposed to be. But what does that actually mean, right? The Dow Jones Industrial Average went up today. Okay. What? The Dow Jones Industrial Average is just first of all, it's not really an average. It's just a summation of the top, top 100, I think? Or some top blue chip stocks. It's just an average of them. What does that mean? How do you turn that into money if your stock goes up? How does that turn itself into money? That always just, I don't know. I'm always wary of people just circle jerking themselves into a tizzy over like, oh, we're very valuable, highly profitable, blah, 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 because you know what? All right, King. Okay, Twitch, if they make an IPO. Okay, Facebook. Okay, Oculus. What does that mean that you value yourself at this? Turn that into cash, and then we'll talk, I suppose.
Man, that paper.
That paper.
I hit myself in the face. I tried to walk it off.
I noticed.
Yeah. So what do we want to talk about now? What did we talk about earlier? Did you read the Obama thing? Because I really didn't. I just read the headline.
Oh, about the Obama, President Obama announced that he is going to try to institute changes to the NSA's phone records database.
Right.
I read the article from The Verge, which you can find it on The Verge. It's
love The Verge.
It's initially you're like, yeah, but then as you read more and more, you're just kind of like, oh, okay. Well, nothing really changed. It looks like I closed out the window. But what it is essentially they're going to tell the NSA, okay, you don't just get all the records now to sift through. Which is good. That's probably the best part, is that no longer is this just a Verizon, AT&T, all these telcos are giving all of their records to the government, and then we have to trust that the government isn't sifting through everything, but instead, pulling choice what they actually need from the database. So the phone companies hold on to all the databases.
See that? That's your IQ, buddy. Zero.
Official Stark Gaming just subscribed. Welcome to the Dog Pound, my friend. We got fun and games. Woo!
Iron Man.
Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Excuse me.
Doge.
Thank you for supporting the ad-free run, or the mid-roll free run, I guess we should be more descriptive about it. Hopefully there's a lot more people out there that will subscribe and donate, help keep it going. But anyway,
if you're dumb enough to futz over when he says, futz over.
Oh, I thought you said
says,
fist first. I was like,
no,
God.
When he says ad free, and if you're one of the people that's going to say I get a pre-roll or I get one at the very end, you can go fuck yourself.
I know there's going to be that one guy, and it's
there's going to be one because he's a fucking idiot and he just wants to find something to yell at you about. You're a fucking jackass.
I was thinking about that earlier today before the show went live. I was like, there's going to be that one guy.
Yeah. So he has to say no mid rolls because you really that's 100% truth right there.
People do semanticize to that level, yes.
Oh, and that dude those people are fucking assholes because you can't.
And I'm the pseudo intellectual apparently. They semanticize just to one up, and they're like, "Oh, I wasn't trying to one up." Yeah, you were, and then I'm the pseudo intellectual bastard. But anyway, so the phone companies, the telcos keep the database, the metadata database, the metadatabase. Yeah. So they hold on to that, but they would have to facilitate from a technical means the NSA going to retrieve records from specific people as determined by the FISA courts. And the NSA would have to make specific, I believe the term is delineations, or specific calls for data from a specific person as per the FISA courts, which I think is still bullshit because I think it's. But we're behind this curtain. The NSA is behind this curtain. You can't see what goes on, and you don't have access to what goes on behind here, American people. Just know that when the NSA comes for your shit, they got a good reason for it. No, I don't. I don't take too kindly to that. But I guess we'll take what we can get. However, the interesting thing that I don't think a lot of people keep picking up on is that they have the at that point, like let's say they want to go after Joe Schmo. Well, the NSA then can get the metadata of Joe Schmo and any two degrees of separation from that. So they can go from Joe Schmo to Plain Jane back to John Smith and grab all that metadata. Now can they because they grabbed the data of Plain Jane, can they go from any other two people in Plain Jane's metadata? I don't know.
Right.
And that's I don't think so. That I read it as that, but the cynical bastard to me is like, well, no, they're just going to try to circle jerk into, well, now that we hopped from Joe Schmo to John Smith, and he's 2 degrees separated, but now we got John Smith's record. So now we can go 2 degrees in any direction from his metadata. That's what I was thinking it might be. I don't know specifically. So it's not just, we're not at a point where it's the NSA is out in the open saying, we're going to court, we want the records of this person, give it to us, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, whatever, give those records to us. It's, we go to FISA court, then we go with a secret order and probably a gag order to Verizon, and we can grab the records of people that are in the records of the person that we want. So it's not perfect. It is substantial, given the bullshit that the NSA metadata mining operation was in the beginning. But it's still not any kind of like transparent, you can trust that we're not going to fuck you with this operation. It's just a little bit. It's the government saying, trust us, we're really not going to use this to fuck you. But you can't see anything that goes on about it. So it's just,
I want to
close fucking Guantanamo, Barack, okay? Close it, then shut this shit down. None of this mamby-pamby. Yeah, I called him Barack. B-Rock. You've sullied the office of the presidency. I no longer call you Mr. President. Fuck you, Barack. Close goddamn Guantanamo Bay like you said you were going to do motherfucking 7 years ago, and then shut this shit down. No, like, oh, well, if you just say the one person and only 2 orders of magnitude, only 2, shut this shit down. Make them do it in fucking federal court, so that people can get access to their records. There's no secret records. There's no secret courts. None of that shit. Do it out in the open. You want to put people in Guantanamo Bay on trial? Not in a FISA court. Put them on fucking trial in federal court in New York or wherever else. None of this bullshit operating with national security. Kiss my black ass, Barack. Probably blacker than yours. Fucking
served. Liberties. Happiness. I want to ask you a question, though, totally off topic. Not a good segue, but I've had a good couple in the past. So the PKA survival thing is, it's going to be brought up tomorrow. Because they're all, I know for a fact they're all talking about it all week. And it's all over the subreddit. I know you don't like outdoors. I would like to do it. But what is something you would like to do with a group of people? Because you don't go to events, or you don't want to. You've never indicated you wanted to go to like PAX or anything. Which I'm at the point now.
I would go. I don't have the money.
I'm at the point now. Well, I'm at the point now where I've been to several PAX and other events. Where if everyone says you don't go there for the convention, you go there for the people. Well, and Woody has said this before. Then let's just go somewhere and do something together. Then why are we going to fucking Boston for this convention if we're just gonna hang out? And that's the reason we're hanging out. So what's something you want to do with your friends, your friends that you would want to do? Like, do you want to go to an amusement park? What is something on the lefty level? What would you be okay with? Because you don't like outdoors. Well, you don't like camping. I'll say that, not outdoors.
Yeah, well, I know. Well, that's the reason why I said that on PK, that it's outdoors, not necessarily outside. I go outside, fucking jag-offs. It's just outdoors, in the woods without, I got to shit in a hole I dug myself. I'm just not cool with that.
Which is fine.
I don't know. Go to a baseball game. Go see the White Sox. Suck down some.
What else you got?
Probably go to. You have to get a bus so that because I'd want to get rip roaring drunk, and I don't want to drive home. So get like a party bus to go to a White Sox game or something.
What else you got? I think there's anything wrong with that. Just
I don't know.
Baseball.
I'd go to an event.
What event would you want to go to if money wasn't money weren't a means for the reason you're not going? Would you go to the next PAX if it was all paid for and done for? You can go.
When is
you
it
probably
again?
would. It's in like 2 weeks. Actually, 2 weeks from the date almost.
That's the one in Boston, right?
Yep. PAX Prime's in Seattle.
I'd probably go to the Seattle one.
Seattle's way nicer than Boston. Also, bigger convention center.
Yeah, I'm just not a.
You can literally see the end. Like if you step into the Boston one, you can see the end of where it is and the walls. Like it's very small compared to Prime. And I would probably go again to PAX Prime, just because I like Seattle. Seattle's fucking awesome. It's a great city. Except it's the birthplace of Starbucks, and every goddamn fucking Starbucks in Seattle closes at like fucking 10 o'clock at the latest, and that's a hard one to find. Otherwise, it's 8 o'clock everywhere.
Why are you doing? Why are you trying to get late night coffee?
Because like if you leave the convention, it closes at like 8 or something, and then you walk around, and it's like, well, I need coffee, or like, you know, I pulled an all nighter one time to make sure I get my flight because I'm the kind of person that'll turn the alarm off and go back to sleep. And there was no coffee. I went to like a bar and got like cold coffee from their fucking brewing pot or whatever. And they poured it in ice, and that was awful. Had fucking the grounds in it. Chew on those. I'm just going to Seattle in August, whenever the hell that is.
I don't know, man. Fucking flights to Seattle are
take a train.
Expensive. Take a train?
Yeah. I mean, it's 2 days, but I mean, it'll be cheaper.
Yeah, I guess. No, you were saying that you were looking at trains east, and train tickets east are just as expensive as plane tickets. Remember? I thought they were comparable. Depends.
Like, for me to go to Chicago right now would be like $300 by train round trip. For flights, probably $500 round trip. So it's cheaper. And then you have to weigh, is that extra $200 worth the 2 days of travel? For me, it would, because I would actually like it. I'd force myself to read all of my books in one sitting, probably, because I'm not going to have fucking internet on that train. I want to take a train too. I haven't taken a train.
Yeah, I've never taken like a long train trip like that.
I've never taken one, and I know the trip from like the actual train, like it's like the Zephyr from California to Chicago. Is like a really nice train or something like that.
Oh, that's speaking of the Zephyr, we could go to the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. It's a great place.
And industry.
Yeah, it's a really cool museum.
Is it?
Yep, lots of cool stuff. There's a space like observatory thing. They've got an Omnimax theater. It's pretty cool. So it'd be probably the nerdiest. Take a bunch of YouTube bros like, hey, let's go to the Museum of Science and Industry.
We'll do That's Not What You Call It on the road from there. And we'll get Neil deGrasse Tyson to come with us.
There we go. We get Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Who here on the stream? Those that are in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm not going to say fuck you, but you should be on the stream.
You should. Twitch.tv/lefty643. Ad free.
There's 600 sexy people.
Donate. There's 600 what?
600 sexy people here.
Really?
Well, 580. It goes between it hit 610 at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. You're a pretty big deal. I'm also somewhat of a big deal. You know, you're going to get a silver play button soon. But would you like to see Neil deGrasse Tyson on the show? Fuck you. His name is too long.
Yeah, the hyphens are rough to deal with. Yeah, I'd love to see Neil deGrasse Tyson on the show. Have him as not as like a full show guest. Again, I still got to figure out how to do.
I feel like he would hate us after 2 hours.
Yeah, right. We say fuck a lot and talk about stuff that.
Which I want to see the real Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I want to hear Neil deGrasse Tyson say fuck. Fuck is the best icebreaker. If you're talking to somebody and you say fuck, or you get them to say fuck,
you get them to say fuck.
If you get them to, if you're like, oh, it sucks, they're like,
or
yeah,
you say fuck, and you look at their reaction,
and they're just like, yeah, fuck, yeah. Then you guys are golden.
You're good.
Fuck is the best icebreaker out there. If you say fuck in polite conversation and they're accepting of it, or if they bring out the best would be if they bring out fuck, because you know your level of like, yeah, I could drop fuck at any time, but if they preemptively drop a fuck on you, yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, I'd love to have him on the show for a couple minutes. You know, good, nice segment, 15, 20 minutes maybe. Ask him about the cosmos and
what's Neil deGrasse Tyson's Twitter?
I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna make a click to tweet.
Is it?
It's real short, if I remember. Neil, there it is. It's Neil Tyson. That's what we're calling him, Neil Tyson.
So wait, his own Twitter handle doesn't have deGrasse in it? Well, fuck it then, man.
Well, he does in his name, but his handle isn't.
I'd have to ask him. We'd have to ask him about that.
We'd have to. Like, what do we call you? You'd have to start off like that, because I don't know. Do I call you Neil? Do I call you Mr. Tyson? Do I call you Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Do I call you Mr. deGrasse Tyson? Does
Tyson de la Grasse, Neil. So I'm going to get this ready.
So, yeah, you know, talk to him about the cosmos and, you know, standard shit. What's the craziest or what you think is the coolest tidbit of or factoid about the universe? I'd like to ask him why he doesn't debate creationists. Why he doesn't even entertain the idea. Like, I want to hear his explanation of it. And if he thinks less of Bill Nye because he does it.
I don't think so. Do you think they're friends?
I would assume so. I mean, they've appeared in pictures together, and I think they've given talks and speeches together. Or lectures and whatnot. But I just want to know, like... Because on the one hand, you can be heavy, you can be ham-handed about or authoritarian about your facts, or authoritative, in saying we evolved from this, we evolved from primordial ooze. Here is the evolution path of humans. But if there are differing views or differing thoughts, which for all intents and purposes are summarily incorrect. Mm-hmm. But to not debate or to not even entertain the notion of those people is, I think, a little bit, it runs a little bit contrary to the whole idea, at least of Neil deGrasse Tyson, of benevolent intellectual who just wants to talk to you about how cool the universe, the cosmos are, instead of, you know, to say, oh, well, how cool is it? It's really cool. This is all really cool stuff. But then say, fuck that, no God, nothing, shut up. I'm not even talking to you, not even hearing what you have to say. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like the idea. I like that, of course, because fuck Ken Ham. But at the on the flip side of that coin, it doesn't it run a little bit contrary to the message of this is how cool you know, humanity and the knowledge, the collective knowledge of and the human experience and all that stuff, doesn't it run contrary to that message to them be like, no, fuck you, not even talking to you. You don't even exist to me, that whole idea.
Do you think it's that, or it's just you're not even worth my time? Like, do you think he's just so above them? Like, you are of such a lower intellect to believe these things and spew the garbage you spew that I'm just not even going to debate you, because it's not a debate. I mean, fucking Bill Nye did a debate with Ken Ham. You saw how that went. He got fucking slam dunked, and at the end of the way, Ken Ham probably went home, jerked off, and went, I'm amazing. That was a great
observational
debate.
This is observational science.
This is observational science. I was there. I can talk about what happened with Bill Nye, and it was fucking great. I won. Nobody wore bow ties. I won. I am Ken Ham. I'm infallible.
So, but there's something about the marketplace of ideas that makes you so much, right? The idea of Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think, or Neil deGrasse Tyson would be such a better figurehead, or that much better of a figurehead. Not like he's bad now. He's a perfect figurehead for modern science. I love it. He's awesome, and he can describe so many cool and very, very, I'm assuming very, very complicated things. So some like an idiot like me could kind of understand them a little bit. But I think he would be exactly. But it would be that much better if he could just be so nonchalant about like, yes, I'll debate you. You know, and I'm just gonna win. And I'm just going to win. You may think you won, but I did, and I'm secure in my knowledge That because to be so, that's the word I was dancing around for so long. It makes him look insecure about his points, even though he's not insecure. Right. Even though we know he's not insecure and he genuinely believes everything he said and can do the math and do the science behind everything he says, it makes him look insecure. From a standpoint of public opinion, public debate, winners and losers, it makes him look insecure. And that is something that creationists can seize on and say, well, you see, look, we're being persecuted because all we want to do is discuss this. They can paint themselves as martyrs. Right. Or they can martyr themselves. Be like, look, all we want to do is discuss. All we want to do is have an honest discussion about this and how cool humanity is. But this asshole, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and his brew won't even talk to us. Or his brood. They won't even talk to us. They won't even discuss us. We're the victims here. Not that atheists have been, smoked out and snuffed out and imprisoned and murdered and executed for centuries by organized religion. We'll forget all that, but and in my mind, kind of yeah. They have a little point. They got a foothold there, and you want to deny them every foothold they can. So yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson, debate. Shouldn't you maybe want to debate him? Yeah, you can win. You're always going to have those people that are just like, yeah, you won. You killed it. Of course.
Do it like Bill Nye. Have them pay you to actually debate them and then smoke them.
It just seems like it makes
what
it
if Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson debated each other? There's got to be something they don't agree upon. I mean,
it has to be political because you can't. They are so entrenched in the idea of the infallibility. The idea of science and not the infallibility of science, because actually one of their central tenets is the fallibility of science. But the reason science is fallible is also the reason that we got to believe what science says. It's actually counterintuitive when you think about it, and it just struck me. That's weird. But because science can disprove, any hypothesis or theory at any time can be disproven. But because of that is why the tested hypotheses and theories of science are so ironclad. It's like, holy shit, it can be derailed so easily.
Right.
But it would have to.
It would have to be political,
like economic, maybe. But even then, Neil deGrasse Tyson, I can't. It's not that I was a climate denier. I was more of a, I don't deny that climate change is a thing. Hell yeah, of course, it's in the geological record. It happens. It happens for many, many reasons. But the idea that humanity in a short 150, 200 years completely has had such a huge impact on the motherfucking earth seems a little bit too big for me. But you know what? It's the idea of climate change undeniable. Can't deny it.
Yeah.
It's fucking there. And should we probably do something to limit hydrocarbon emissions? Fuck yeah, we should. Should we find other sources of energy? Goddamn right. For many reasons, not just environmental. But yeah. So yeah, it's got to be Neil deGrasse and Bill Nye. Got to be.
That'd be a fun debate.
I still don't know what they would debate about.
Probably politics.
What would they even? I don't know.
Because they line up on so much. Like I try to think, Bill Nye I know wants more funding for for NASA to be reborn again and have more funding towards that and searching out deep space and stuff. But Neil deGrasse Tyson feels the same way. Like he's come out and said you can't move a frontier with private industry because it takes trillions of dollars to do these types of things, to get to Mars and colonize it or terraform it, or to get past Mars to Europa on Jupiter and stuff like that. It takes trillions. SpaceX and Elon Musk can't do that alone. You can't shape a generation. They're little gimmicky things. Go on.
Oh shit! I didn't see that we had the click to tweet going on Neil deGrasse Tyson. Everybody, click that shit. Let's get Neil deGrasse Tyson on the show.
Yeah, let's get him on.
What kind of statement show would that be if all of a sudden we show up on the Twitch front page with Neil motherfucking deGrasse Tyson?
I think it would be better than Joe Rogan. I'm sure they've had him on. But we show up every week.
Joe Rogan shows up multiple
We've already claimed, almost a year ago, we claimed that we were better than Joe Rogan podcast, or Joe Rogan Experience podcast, because we watched the stream together. Joe Rogan streaming on Ustream or whatever had 100 people in it.
Yep.
Guess what?
It
better
was
than
late
him.
at night, though, wasn't it? He just decided.
Doesn't matter.
He probably got really high and was like, "Yeah, let's do a show, man." And that's probably one of the best parts about being Joe Rogan, at least in terms of being a performer, is that you don't have to worry about the show going off. You get told by other people, "Yeah, the show's down," or "Yeah, there's technical issues," but you just go. If you're Joe Rogan,
Right.
you fucking get high and you do your show.
He just doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck. Like he doesn't. He does some live stream podcasts, but he makes a conscious effort to not look at the chat or pay attention to it. Like, we're gonna do a show because they will ruin your lives. Those people in that live stream. You got to put on your show and do whatever it is you're doing. Now, here, who do we have more likely to get? Somebody said Seth Rogen, so I'm gonna pose that question. Do you think we get Seth Rogen or Neil deGrasse Tyson first out of those two?
Probably Seth Rogen first,
Really?
to be honest. Yeah. I think it would
working
be
on a movie.
it would be easier to get him on as just because he seems really into that. Like, I like podcasting,
Right.
and I love doing it, and it could be easy. Like, hey, Joe, hop on Google Hangouts. You can do it from your trailer wherever you're doing. If you're getting ready to do a UFC thing one weekend, just hop on your iPhone and we'll do a show from. There. Or if you want to do it from your studio, fine. But
This is good. This will be our third time.
our
Trying
third
to
time,
get someone very big, by the
we
way.
are on the verge of striking out. Really,
We really shoot for the stars with this. We don't aim low. The first one was Penn Jillette, and which really douchey.
Fucking
We're
Penn.
both very salty about that because he was on Twitter and saw you couldn't not see the amount of tweets he was getting. We put a lot of effort into spamming Penn Jillette.
come on,
Now,
Penn.
You
Cool, bro.
fucking ignored us. Come on, you could have talked about a book. We don't care.
We'd
Neil
love
deGrasse
for you to
Tyson
talk
pitched
about your
Cosmos.
book. Yeah,
Pitch
come on,
Cosmos.
pitch your shit. Don't care. I want to talk
Free
to Penn Jillette.
advertisement. That's it.
Yeah, that's what you
Hour,
get.
half hour. That's it.
Pitch
That's
Cosmos. Pitch your books, Penn. I'll pitch your books for you. I don't care, man. Whatever you're doing, he's got a new movie coming out that he made. Make Penn bad. Whatever you want, dude. Come on,
Second-
just tell me funny magic stories.
Second person was Adam Savage, I believe. No,
Adam
no,
Sessler,
Adam
Adam
Savage is
Sessler.
from MythBusters.
Adam Sessler.
Sessler, thank you. And we didn't push too hard on that one, and we didn't get a response out of him, but still a big person to try and grab. He was big on TV back in the day. He's still big now.
He stood
Has his
right
own network.
next to what's her face, Mother of God.
That
That one chick on
what's her-
X Play.
but not the Asian one.
No, the tall chick. She's
Like-
got like a degree in computer science from UCLA or something.
Yeah, I forget her name. She was at an event.
Oh
some friends
God,
went
what's
to.
her name?
What's her name?
She was on X Play. Come on.
Somebody help us.
Come on, chat. Where's it at? There's one time we're looking at chat.
Somebody help us, because you're gonna know it.
You guys are gonna know it. By the way, be sure to hit that
Webb.
follow button.
That was
Morgan
it. They
Webb.
didn't say anything. I figured it out.
Morgan Webb. Get a degree. She's got some like computer degree or something from like
Yeah.
a respectable school.
So we went Penn Jillette, Adam Sessler, fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson. We get Neil deGrasse Tyson. Once again, there's really, there's a little something to gain, but from both parties, you do get to talk about your thing. But I just want to talk to you. I just like the Hutch thing. I just want to talk to you again. That's it. There's nothing. I haven't uploaded in almost 4 months now. Okay. Actually, I think it has been 4 months. We'll be going on 5. I just want to talk to you. I do this for fun. you
I
know?
just want to talk to you.
Which sounds super stalkerish, by the way.
That's
and
it's
creepy.
it's.
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk. I just want to hit him.
I just want to talk to you. That's all. That's all. Just talk to me.
Not asking for a whole lot. Come on, meet me halfway. That's the part where Neil deGrasse Tyson tunes in to see what this is and sees me with this giant thing drinking out of it. And
Beer,
goes,
just like I just want to talk to you. That's it. I just want to. I just want to talk to you. By the way, if you're watching this, Neil deGrasse Tyson, I love your work. Be sure to come on. We can
You're amazing.
talk about the cosmos. Teach us astrophysics stuff. Really
Talk to us
cool.
in very, very lame.
Yeah, keep it. Yeah, keep it. Keep it.
Like,
stupid
get
for the
coloring
stupid.
books if you've got them, please. Like, I know.
Yeah, pre-made
And what
illustrations.
is Pluto? Where do we stand on
The fuck
Pluto?
was that, man? Why you gotta shit on Pluto like
Why?
that, dog?
Why?
What's that?
Is it a planetoid, but it's not a planet, but it's an asteroid?
I think you're racist towards Pluto, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Why do you hate Pluto? Is it because it makes like one orbit every 5,000 years on the sun? That's too
So
slow
what?
for you?
So what? So what? It gets to it in its damn time. It does it.
Sometimes it crosses into fucking Neptune's orbital path, but whatever.
How about you explain gravitational lensing? How about that?
It's eighth for a while. So what? Why don't you talk about Prometheus? Why was that inaccurate to what is real around us?
What
Membrane theory.
Wait, what?
Prometheus, the movie?
I remember
that. Prequel to Aliens.
Okay.
Kind of prequel. Nobody stabbed me over that.
I don't. Okay, so why is it like? I don't know.
Well, that was all right. So
Neil deGrasse Tyson gets a lot of shit for hating on gravity too, for some reason. Why are people so butthurt about that?
But he came out and like corrected himself. He's like, I pointed out some flaws, but that is a great compliment because I took the time to watch the movie and said they got everything right except these couple things right here, And he pointed out some things. Like it's not that big of a deal. It's up being just come on. You can talk about gravity. You probably don't want to talk about gravity, but we can talk about cosmos.
I'll totally ask him about gravity.
I want to know how Seth MacFarlane is like in person.
I would love to have Seth MacFarlane. I think would be a good guest too, but that's the biggest guest we could probably ever.
That would be the biggest one.
If Seth MacFarlane's just
I think Seth MacFarlane may have more Twitter followers than Neil deGrasse Tyson, but Seth MacFarlane is like an upper echelon type person. Like he's executive producer of Cosmos, has like the best running series on Fox, I think. Can sing like a motherfucker. I want to see his new movie coming out whenever that is.
The Western?
The 1,000 Ways to Die in the West or whatever that movie was. That fucking movie looks great.
It does look pretty funny. Good. We'll definitely check that out when it comes out. All right,
we shoot high for guests. We shoot very high for
we do, or fucking get the.
But
fuck
once
out
we
of
get
here.
that one person,
once we get it, man,
all
the bar
other
is
ones
set.
will be so easy.
The bar is set. We can be like, hey, Neil deGrasse Tyson was on the show. Seth
Why are you
MacFarlane,
saying no?
You want to come
Neil
join?
deGrasse Tyson
And then
said
bam,
yes.
Seth MacFarlane was on the show. We could leverage a Seth MacFarlane guest ship into pretty much anything.
Neil deGrasse Tyson did it. You're executive producer of his show.
Penn Jillette would come on. At that point, Penn Jillette.
No, we would tell him no. He's like Hodor to That's Not Why You Called. If he wanted to come on, we would say no, and then he'd make a tweet about how we said no. We would get more popular because we just rejected Penn Jillette.
I couldn't reject Penn Jillette. I couldn't do it. I'd do a special episode. I would do a one-off episode of That's Not Why You Called with just me and Penn.
We could do it, but I would totally bring up why the fuck did you snuff us? You didn't miss
because he's like
24-hour period.
Because he's like I'm a fucking magician. I'm not a Twitter guy. I was
inside my capsule thing that Joe Rogan bought from my house or whatever.
Yeah.
That fucking deprivation tank. That's what it is.
All right, should we wrap the show there? It was a good episode. I like this episode a whole lot. Thank you guys for joining. This wraps up That's Not Why You Called
Don't forget to tweet.
33. Click to tweet Neil deGrasse Tyson. Click that shit. I want Neil deGrasse Tyson on the show. That'd be amazing.
Even if he says no, it's fine.
Even if we say no, just get a public no. That'd be great.
That's all. We've said that for everyone. Like, if you want to reject us, that's fine. Just say no. But don't just ignore us like we're pieces of shit. We're people.
Yeah, we're people.
You're people. We are the same DNA.
We're in the entertainment business just like you are, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Except we're a whole lot worse at it than you are.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean we're not people.
We only want to kill 30 minutes of your time to an hour.
We only want to waste 30 minutes of this one shot of life you can unearth. That's it. That's all, bro.
That's a whole lot when you think about it.
Nope. Not in terms of the cosmos. That's been That's Not Why You Called. Thank you guys for joining. Be sure to hit the follow button if you're watching on Twitch. Subscribe $4.99, and if you want to, go ahead and donate. We are going ad-free for the foreseeable future, trying to see if that works out. So subscribing does help us out, and then donating from that point further helps out the stream. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, the like button, favorite as always. Thank you guys for joining. We hope you enjoyed. We are out. Peace.